Hey, Scott Russell. I'm going to talk a little bit, I guess, on the spiritual level of what I think's happening here. And I had somebody contact me today about a dream they had, and I'm not a huge one on dreams, but they definitely can be spiritual and can be God. And I don't get entertained in my sleep a lot, but when I do, I know that it's generally a godly thing, especially if I can remember it. But he was talking about just a wave that was coming and it's riding that wave, and I'd be interested to hear if others are having similar things, and it wouldn't surprise me if you are. I mentioned how in the past I'd had a dream about numerous times, the same dream over and over in various forms of a dam and a little leak in the dam, and then the leak obviously got bigger and bigger and then just burst, and everything underneath it was just swept away. And it was always a case of just jumping up to something in time to get away from that. Is it just the ferocity and the speed of the water that came? I remember, as I've mentioned, when I first hit the US, having vision of currency that deep on the streets, and I wanted to share a little bit about the spiritual side of this, and I think many of you will resonate with it. Many of you probably won't, and that's fine if you don't. But and if you do, that's great. Let's enjoy that. I think that we look at this wrong. Often everyone's trying to find a way to, how can I survive what's coming? And I think the best thing you can look at is the dam. If there's a dam bursting and the water's coming and it's just going to sweep everything away, you can try your best to try to preserve your life, and you won't. And the Bible says whoever wants to find his life must lose it. And I think we have lost touch with reality. And I'm looking at over here a view of this world, and I'll show you later, maybe. But everybody's fighting so hard to keep normal. They want to keep the house, the car, and I understand that. That's all wonderful stuff. I have a lady that's really touched my heart is a great example of that. I have a deep love for that lady. I wonder where my future will go, whether that person will be in my life. But I can't control that. I just have to believe in her, make myself the best version of me. You know, I've looked at my life and gone, well, what have I got? And most of you don't know me that well, but I don't have a lot naturally in some areas. Some ways I do, but I don't live a normal life. I live a very spiritually orientated trust life, and trusting God in that. And to think that somebody can come and just be part of that is not easy. My children are at various stages, but one of the things I've felt with my children is to, especially the ones that are in my life currently, is to shift from being a father, I'm still a father, but to being more of the mentor of what will happen in their life. And I think with what's coming, the natural way is to think, I need to keep my kids close to me and take care of them. But in reality, we all know that can't happen. They get to an age they want to do things themselves, and I think the way the world's going, children are being forced to grow up younger because they're going to have to stand up for what they believe in. And I think as a father, one of the greatest acts of love we can do is to allow our children the space to make mistakes and to just be there. And when they want us, and for me it's teaching my children, not teaching my children, but it's giving my children the opportunity to understand the Father's heart. I may not be there for your demands. I had at one time, some of my family put demands on me that said, if you love us, you'll do what we say. And I thought, well, if I love you, you've just locked me into not being able to do as you say. And too many people in this world think that love is an action and not a state of being. This lady that I think is absolutely adorably wonderful, as I just believe in her, I believe that she'll understand, and I do believe it's in her, the unconditional love. I think she sees that, and it's a choice like with all of us, am I going to walk the path of unconditional love or the path of conditional? And I think the greatest act of love I can do is allow her that space. Believe in her and trust the spirit that's in her, and say, I think she's going to do the right thing. It's pretty hard some days, like with my children. Some of them are at various stages of that. Some of them are not really in my life because they've made demands, or they don't understand, or they've been weaponized by whatever. And I just say, well, I'm here, I'll be the best version of me, I believe in you. And when you come to my life, my son Daniel returned to my life. He was estranged from me for, I don't know, maybe 3 years. I had no contact, didn't hear from him. Just, he was living his life and was mad at Dad that for no real reason. I mean, but for him, the reasons were real. But some of you got teenagers, you know. Life just brought it back around where he had to live, he was living in Portugal and had to take responsibility for life himself, and he realised it wasn't as easy as he thought, and came back and just said, Dad, I thank you. I remember there's pictures on my Facebook, I just embraced him, and the first time we'd met in 3 years, just cried. I just cried. I mean, a father seeing his son come back. Was I angry? No. Was I like, why'd you do this to me? No. I just was so happy he was there. The prodigal son in the Bible, just embraced him and cried, and then spent hours with him, just drinking coffee and talking, and just, did he ever get on his knees and say sorry? No. The fact that he was back was that. I don't need a sorry. I need the intimacy of heart, and he was able to give that, and I now have that. I still have that with him, and he said, Dad, I was a coward. He said, I was used. Some of what happened, I was abused by those around me. He said, but I was too immature to see it. I was a coward, and he said, I'm not blaming them. I take responsibility for myself, and he said, I am now not going to come under that spirit of control again, and I'm going to walk in what God has for my life. Just a beautiful thing. And that's sort of everyone around my life. And I'm saying that to say that we can control. Control is an illusion. We think we can control people. We think we can control love. You can't. If somebody's going to be in your life, set them free. And I've done that. I mean, the woman that I think is adorable, that I wonder at times, I set it free. I just, and what's supposed to be will be. And when it comes back, it'll be because it's in unconditional and genuine love, not in what someone can do for you, or, how they can please you, or how, but it'll be that pulling of hearts, of understanding. And I keep saying it in these love videos that I make. You've got to make love to the spirit first, intercourse with a spirit, then intercourse with a heart and soul, and then intercourse naturally. And you can't force that whole flow. It's just got to be where it is. And I think I'm saying all this hoping you can pick up the principles here of your life. You can be looking at what's about to fall apart and what you could potentially lose. Like I've lost my children, or a woman or a man that's in your life or whatever, and to look and say, I can't control life. I'm not going to control life, because the worst act to love is control. Oh, I want to be loved. I need him here. I need this. I need this love. I need this intimacy. And that's the very reason why you shouldn't have it. Because when that person comes to your life, when my children have returned to my life, it's not because I needed them. It's because they desired intimacy. They desired intimacy as heart. And as we sat together and we talked and we did, I helped them in business. I helped them get going in business. They were able to do it without me, but I just served in my heart, a father's heart. I want to see my children go well beyond where I've ever been. And I think it's the same with a woman. As that woman comes to my life, I want to see her fulfill everything that's for her life. She's not fulfilling Scott's life. Now, yeah, sure, we're going to have things that as we come together we will do, and there's things that are there that are quite exciting when that happens. But that woman has to fulfill the beauty of the emerald, the beauty of the inner being of who she is. And many men, I think, are very insecure about that because they feel that women need to, you know, follow the man around. Not the case. They need to be equal. Not the case. She needs to be the best who she is, emerald. We'll call her an emerald. She needs to be the best emerald that she is, and I need to be the best gem that I am. And I think that as we do that together, it's non-threatening, and you celebrate them reaching where they need to be. And when you come together and you're doing things together, and for me, a future is, I think a lot of my future will be discovered when that one is with me. I mean, I have ideas, I have inklings, I have things that are there that are starting to gather momentum, but I look at that and go, I am not going to discover my future until that right one's there to complete that future. And I think that, am I doing that saying she has to? No. Saying I think that's the joy of it, to sit in the woods together. Maybe we'll sit here and it'll be like, talking and just hearts linking and hey, what about this? Oh yeah. And you discover it, and everything that she is will be completed beyond completion. Everything that I am will be better than best, because that's what it is. And as you're coming into this world and you're looking at, man, I don't want to lose my house, my car, my whatever. What if you do? What if that dam breaks? When that dam breaks, and it will, takes everything from you. Who are you? I went through years of not knowing who I was because my identity came from those around me, and my identity came from what I was doing and what I had. And it was a process of letting that be stripped away, where I had to find who I was because of who God said I was, because He loves me. And because when I sit with Him and I come out here and I just enjoy life, I understand what life is, what it is for me, what it's going to be. And it's beautiful. Do I want all that stuff in the world? Some of it I don't actually care for too much because it's very restrictive. But, you know, whatever, I'm open, I don't mind. But I want to ask you, do you understand your importance to God? That if everything was swept away in an instant, that you'd be able to stand? Might take you some time, but you'd be able to stand. You are precious. Things are going to be swept away. This is going to come rapid, woof. And if you lose those you love, I lost my family. I had one son that stayed with me. 8 children. 7 gone overnight. Weaponized. Everything I knew, gone. Everything I had, gone. Had to find who I was. Did I go and fall into the arms of a woman? No. Did I go and... No. I took the journey of pain, and the pain took the journey in me. Not easy. Not easy. And I fully understand, and nor do I condemn anyone that turns to other things, because I tell you that the pain is inescapable at times. And God really met me in that, but I still had to take the journey with the pain. So I know what it is to lose everything. I know what it is to live with nothing and to have everything. And that's where I think many of us are going to be in this. So my quick sum up of everything I've sort of talked today is to say, God's got you. Are you prepared to let go? Let go of your control. If you want to find life, you've got to lose it. For me, that was Jesus. Yeah, it's not just praying some religious prayer, but it was taking a journey with Jesus. So I walk on a beach and talked with Him, and I just surrendered my life, my heart, my all, my desires for a lady, my desires for my children, my desires for life, my fears. I just surrendered them. Are they still there? Yeah, sometimes. And when they come back and bite hard, and they have the last few days and some things, I get out and I walk. I woke up this morning, went for a walk. Got dressed, came here, thought I'll do a video. So stand strong. Stand strong. Walk with God. So I don't believe in God. Well, that's good. I don't believe in love. I've said this before. I don't in love in the form that we think. I don't believe in it because I've been betrayed by it. I don't believe in love. My head doesn't believe it. It can't understand it. But my heart, it's in love. My heart is love. My heart's giving love to where it needs to go, and where and it comes back. I get glimmers of hope that come back in that. But do I believe in it? No, I look at the natural and go, I don't believe in it. Look at this is terrible. Look where I am. I'm all alone. No, I'm not alone, because when our hearts merge, the heart's there. Jesus loves you. He's not the religious Jesus that we get pumped and shoved down our throat, but a Jesus that died, and for me, he died on a cross to take away sin, to the condemnation of that. Somebody said, oh yeah, we have to repent. Yeah, you give it to God, but you know what it's about? Sin is about God showing us how unconditionally he loves us. And when we look and realize, man, he loves me, even though when I'm doing everything I shouldn't be doing, or he's according to him, or I'm whatever, he still loves me. Wow. That's a love. I don't believe in that love because my head doesn't get it, but I feel it. When you love somebody, that woman, you love her, I'm sure she feels it. Maybe she doesn't want that. I kind of suspect she does. But her head's trying to figure it out. I think she just relaxed. She'll take the journey. Like my children, they're learning to relax and take the journey, and intimacy will be there because we're all made for intimacy. So, anyway, my point being, take a walk with Jesus. Surrender. Just tell him what's in your heart. Well, I don't know if he's real. Well, you know what? He doesn't speak in words. He speaks in movements. And if you live in the movements, you're living in the fullness of what life has for you. The movements of God. Spiritual movements of what God has and wants to do in your life. And follow the peace, I like to say. Peace is the movement of peace. Follow it. If it's taking you to the right, go to the right. If it doesn't, go to the left. Like I said, these ones that are coming to my life, I have trusting them, that movement in them. I believe they have the ability and the strength to flow in that. And when they do, it'll bring them to where they need to be, right when they need to be there. They'll do the things they need to do, because when you're following a movement, everything comes to that, and everything that's not supposed to be there is repelled. Follow what God has. And that starts for me in the woods, on the beach, taking a walk somewhere. And one day, that someone special will be walking there with me. But right now, maybe you're walking there with me. God bless you.